imagine if you could just produce art consistently and be proud of what you've done in front of people who are just as proud to be a part of that as well. The myth of Don Giovanni has been around for a while, and whether it's in a play form, music form, story form, and so that is kind of the essence is the same. And if you saw the Figaro we did, in some ways it was a brand new story, but the skeleton of the story was the same as the Notte di Figaro. So in some ways that's what we're doing. We're taking the bones of Mozart and De Ponte's opera, but we're saying how would this be seen, heard, experienced in 2014, and in fact in Banff, Alberta, as opposed to Toronto. Uncle John is sort of, he's a tech-savvy human with natural urges and sort of someone who I think we could all see or have a friend who has similar traits, and it's just collecting them all together and putting them all into one person who's very bold and brash and excited by, stimulated by different things. PG. I'm a huge believer in community, and what we're doing with Against the Grain Theatre in Toronto is establishing our community and what is our community and who are the people who are interested in what we're doing and are participating with us. And that's what we're trying to do, is have an audience not watch something but participate in something, and they're coming to experience, be a part of an experience. And so I think with the way that we do things, that we create an experience where the audience is a part of the story, and if they weren't there, it wouldn't be the same, it wouldn't happen the same way. The characters interact with the audience, and the audience is just as important as the singers. First off, for me and for Against the Grain is where we're doing it, and so the venue kind of affects everything, because it's where the story lives. The scene that De Ponte worked out, how will this scene work at the Cave and Basin? And who is now the commendatore in this context of the big sort of, why are we at the Cave and Basin? So you just have to, the venue brings out tons more questions, and then you just have to kind of solve the answers, and a lot of the answers are in De Ponte's libretto. Again, when they were doing it in the 70s and before in English, before we had surtitles, not too many people seemed to, although I don't know, complain about, well, this is in English and this is awful, or this is, it's more that you could just understand it in their context. I think in some ways people are afraid to take a big risk by trying something different, and that's what's scary, the unknown. And we do things so small and bare bones that there's no risk if we fail, because it won't look that much different from if we had a huge success anyways at this stage in our development. Whereas for other companies, it could be a huge risk and a huge loss to either upset people, or them thinking they will upset people, or that they will lose people, or things like that. What I hope that they take out of this is, in some degree, an independence for their art form. And singers tend to think that they need to please, whether it's pleasing a casting person or pleasing a director or a maestro or the company because they want to be rehired. And I think singers, the true artists are those who just say, this is who I am. I'm willing to learn from those people, but I have the freedom to kind of just be who I am, and I'm really happy with that. Against the Grain, we don't necessarily want to grow to be a huge thing, but we just want to connect with people and have music and theater be a part of people's lives, because that has the ability to change people.